morning. Several weeks ago, we were down at the barn and pulling horses to saddle, and Mama was down there helping us. And so we'd pulled a horse out for her, nice little horse called Bitz, B-I-T-Z. And so Mama was going to ride that horse. So she brought that horse out to brush him and to saddle him and to get him ready. Now, a couple of things. Those of you who've been following the channel for several years, you know that Mama has, we've been together, married for 30 years, and we had 7 children. So over the last 30 years and all of our horse work and moving and everything, most of her time was spent either pregnant or raising babies. And so she has not had the opportunity over the years to do a lot of horse work, nothing like what she wanted. So now that the children are gone, she's learning. So in a lot of ways, she's kind of a beginner. But anyhow, we brought this horse out, and she went to tie this horse up to the hitching post, and he pulled back all of a sudden. He doesn't normally do that, but something spooked him, and he pulled back. Well, the way she had the lead rope, he ran that lead rope all the way through her hands and blistered both hands. I mean, several blisters on both hands. And I'm not talking just red and ow. I'm talking they raised water blisters. And I mean, it was serious. It hurt her pretty bad. And so she told me later, she just wanted to come home. I mean, it scared her. Rightfully so, absolutely rightfully so. And it was extremely painful, and she just wanted to come home. So I told her, I said, listen, you don't have to ride, and if you want to go home and put some stuff on that and do what you need to do, I'll put the horse up for you. It's okay. And she said, no, I don't want to quit. I want to ride. And I said, all right, well, just sit down there or go put some salve on him and I'll saddle your horse. And she said, no, I'll saddle my own horse. And so she, with those blisters, raw and open on her hands, she saddled that horse and bitted that horse up and rode that horse. And when we got back from the ride, we got back, she stopped, got off her horse, went to tie the horse up, and I said, if you want, you go on and I'll unsaddle your horse and put it away. And she said, no, I want to do it. And so she untacked that horse and unsaddled that horse and took the saddle in and put it up in the saddle stand. And then went and doctored her hands. And she doctored those hands for several days around here. She told me later, she found out something about herself. She found a strength in her, a depth in her that she didn't know she had. Folks, that's what you call Cowboy Up. There's not enough Cowboy Up these days. We get young folk, we got a young, I say young, he's old enough to know better, come in here to ride, comes in here wanting to be a cowboy, wanting everybody to call him a cowboy. We go out, comes in one day, goes out on like 3 rides, and a ride is 1 hour at a walk, and comes back and says, can I set the next one out? My butt hurts. Cowboy Up. Listen, you cannot get through life if you can't, and I'm not talking, I know a lot of my cigar videos are metaphorical and philosophical. This isn't. I'm talking physical. The military calls it embrace the suck. And if you're going to make it in life at work, doesn't matter what type of work you do, but especially cowboying, or if you have horses, pleasure riding, personal horses, you've got to learn to cowboy up. You've got to toughen up. You have to embrace the suck. I was riding for an outfit in North Carolina, and I had just been on, like I was there 3 days, I don't know. And we were saddling 40 horses one morning. And I saddled this little Palomino, and I went to put the bridle on her, and a little warning bell went off in the back of my head because I've been at this long enough. But we were in a hurry, and I ignored that warning bell. And I started to reach up and untie her lead rope and then putting a bit in her mouth, and I didn't do it. So that's on me. That's my fault. But so she was tied up, and I went to put the bit in her mouth, and she pulled back. And she swung around, she pulled back, and then she swung around sideways and slammed me into the concrete wall. Had a concrete half wall there, and she slammed me into that. I found out later from the doctor she broke 3 of my ribs. But I didn't know that at the time. But knocked all the wind out of me. I literally hit the ground on my hands and knees and crawled out of the barn trying to catch my breath. I sat there for a minute and then got up, hobbled into the office to try to find some Advil or Tylenol or something. All they had was Bear aspirin. I took 5 Bear aspirin, came back out. I was riding a little 2-year-old filly. I was in the process of breaking this little filly. But she was a gentle little sweetheart. And so I hobbled up to her and stood there for a second. And I said, Chica, baby doll, take care of me today. Take care of me today. And I pulled myself up in the saddle of her, and she just stood there quiet. And I took a 4-hour ride with 3 broken ribs. I came back at the end of 4 hours, half climbed off, half fell off my horse, went back in the office, got 5 more aspirin, come back out, got back on my horse, and took the next 2-hour ride out. Cowboy up. Listen, a lot of times in life, if you're like me, I'm not smart, okay? I have no head for numbers. I have no head for science. I don't have a head for business. I don't have that going for me. Don't have any money. Don't have that going for me. I don't have the gift of being a salesman and can go out there and do this. Sometimes all I got is just cowboy up, just grit and go through. And if you're going to go into life, physically, you need a cowboy. Listen, okay, I'm not being crude, but nobody cares if your butt hurts. Nobody cares, okay? If you're cold, if you're working and they're all in the same temperature, they're in the same wind, they're in the same rain, they're riding as many hours as you are, nobody cares. And you're going to get in your mind, you're going to have the discomfort and the misery is going to get in your mind, and you're going to be unhappy. And it's going to consume you. And so just say, hey, you know what? Here I am, saddling up at 4:30 in the morning. I've got 8 or 10 hours ahead of me in the saddle. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to unsaddle in the dark. And I'm going to be sore and I'm going to be tired and I'm going to be hurting. And I'm going to be proud of it. Because there ain't just everybody out there that can say this. There ain't just everybody out there that can take a slam and can take a beating and keep going. I mean, as you know, I've said before, I got plates and screws holding my neck together. Got arthritis in my knees. My hands are hurting anymore. But I keep riding hour after hour after hour, day after day after day. Why? That's what I got. That's what I got. And sometimes that's what you need. So wherever you're finding yourself, whatever level of discomfort you're finding yourself in, look, just toughen up. Just toughen up, okay? We have a country full of weaklings. We have a world full of weaklings. And nobody needs a weakling. Make yourself someone that this world needs. Someone that the job needs, someone that your employer needs, someone that your boss needs, someone that your wife needs or your husband needs. And they don't need a whiner, and they don't need a weakling. All right? So just for those guys who didn't hear a word I say because you've been looking at the cigar wondering what it is, I've got, from the cigar videos I did, I've had several guys, gals, whoever, get on and say, what is your absolute favorite cigar? Partagas Black Label 6x60. Hands down, my favorite across the board. And nice, strong, rich. Is there a downside? Sometimes with these, I have more trouble with uneven burning than I do with some of the others. Not all the time, but it happens. But the flavor makes it worthwhile. And so these are ones I try to always keep on hand. So anyhow, a little extra there. We are getting ready to pull out of here Thursday morning. So today is Monday the 3rd, and so we're pulling out of here. But we're not heading straight to Tennessee. We got to go up further north in Texas for a little bit, make some stop for a few days up there and get some business taken care of to have to do with Tennessee, and get some of that stuff ready, and sit there and wait until the snow and the cold and the wind blows out. Because why in the world would I want to go out there and cowboy up? But we're in the process, it's in the works, and so we're headed that way. And so we hope you stay tuned, and hope you'll just continue to be a part of what we're doing, continue to join us. And so this is Dwayne and Dry Creek Wrangler School. Click like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, click that bell, share it with somebody. And go check out the Patreon account if you'd like, if you're so interested, and we'll catch you guys next time.